Okay, I'm going to go over this problem over here that Tracy posted. This is one, some of the numbers are different on other problems, but the format's the same. We're going to start off with our rule of 70. It says, consider that the half-life of polonium-210 is 140 days. What is the approximate daily percentage? So I think this part's pretty easy, so probably most of you got that, but just in case, let's look at that one. So the half-life formula, we'll just use our 70. So I go 70 over P equals 140. I'm solving for P, so that means I'm going to multiply both sides by P. And then this cancels out, right? So I get 70 equals 140 P. I divide by 140 to get P by itself. Divide by 140, and my answer is 0.5. P equals 0.5, okay? And you just leave it like that. This is the one that just the percentage, you don't change it to a percentage. And you don't need to round it because it's there's nothing else to do with that. Okay, so that's the first part of the problem. Let's look at this second part. For the second part, I'm going to use this formula, the exponential decay model. And this is kind of a handy, this is the exam formula sheet. It's kind of got a lot of good stuff on it, so you'll want that for the test, but you can also use it for your homework. Okay, so I have my new value. So they're saying what's the percent of the original amount would be left after 325 days of decay. So since it's asking for a percent, our original amount is just going to be 1. It's not a specific amount. They're just saying we can use it really for any amount, but we're just saying it's like if I had 100% of that or 1, then that would be it. So it'd be 1 times, let's just look at this formula. So the initial value is 1 times 1/2. And then I have my t, which is the number of days, which is 325. And my t of the half-life, the time for the half-life is 140 days. Okay, so I'm going to do this on my calculator, which is right here. I'm going to start with this little thing. I'm going to go 325 divided by 140. Okay, 2.32. That's a big long number. I'll show you a secret that your calculator should do. If you don't want to have to write this out or remember what it is, you can push this M plus and it will store it. It stores one number at a time in the memory on your calculator. So now I can just go to this part of the problem and say 0.5, and then I push MR, which is memory recall. Oh, that did not work. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. All right, let me try that again. So I have 325 divided by 140. When I get that number, I put it in my memory. Then I say 0.5, and it's raised. I forgot to push this. XY. Oh, that says 0.2. Oh, sheesh. Well, let me try it again. 325. I'm trying to show you this really cool trick, which just worked a second ago, but somehow it's not working. M plus. That should be my memory. Then I say 0.5. X to the Y. MR, memory recall. No. Something is really wrong. Okay, so we're just going to have to write down that number. I don't know why it's not working. It was totally working a second ago. It must be, I can't see, you can't really see what is happening now. So my number up here, sorry, is going to be, let me move this over. Wow. This worked a lot better a second ago. I don't know why my calculator is doing that. 3214228. That's probably plenty. Okay, so now I'm going to take my calculator and go, I'm going to clear this. 0.5 x to the y. I'm going to type in that number, 2.321428. Get that right? Okay, and that equals basically 0.2. Okay, so my answer here is 0.200069 blah blah blah. However, it wants my answer in a percentage. So in this case, I'm going to change this to a percent, and it's going to be 20%. And I'm going to round this to actually 20 0.01. You change it to a percent, we move it 2 decimals to the right. Okay, so that's kind of a weird thing, because on this first part we didn't change it to a percent, and on the second part we did change it to a percent. But that 70 over p, this formula is already in a percent. So the answer you get, this is like the only time you use a percent without changing it to a decimal. Okay, so in this one you're always going to leave it when you're calculating this. But if it asks for a percent otherwise, you're going to shift your decimal 2 spaces to the right. So hopefully that works. Hopefully that's the answer in there. The other problem I did before had 225. And anyway, just let me know if you have any more questions on it.